All right, guys, so I'm recording this presentation. Sorry, I started on the second warm-up, but for our first warm-up, we were looking for the slope and y-intercept. 2/3 is our slope, -2 is our y-intercept. We're on the second equation now. This is in standard form. Alexa just told us to change standard form to slope-intercept form. We start by subtracting 7x. Thank you, Alexa.
No problem, Miss Patterson.
So, all right, that would give us 5y equals 20 minus 7x. Jaden, could you tell me what to do from here?
Yeah, so since we need to have the y all alone, you divide, sorry, my voice. You divide 5 by the things on the right.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Jaden. So yeah, we're going to divide by 5. So 20 divided by 5 will give us 4. And -7/5 will just give us -7/5x. We don't need to do the most here. That can't be reduced. So our y-intercept is 4. And our slope is -7/5. If you don't have anything in your journal like reflecting this, like understanding how to get it, I would definitely write these examples down. Okay, for this third equation, it's in the form of y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. My question is for Jada, can you tell me what is the slope in this equation?
The slope, for this equation, like the third one?
Yep.
Okay then. I honestly couldn't tell you.
I want you to try to figure it out. So it's in the form of y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. M represents slope. So which number is in the spot of the m over here?
3.
3. There we go. There's our slope.
Yay.
This question's for anybody. I know the slope is m. What is the point that this is telling me it's at? What is the point that this is telling me it's
at? -1, 2.
Perfect. -1, 2. We know that in point slope form, it's opposite. So it says x plus 1, that means my x is -1. If it says y minus 2, then I know my y value is +2. So we're going to have to find the y-intercept. So there's 2 ways we could do this. We could just simplify this equation, or we know that on the y-intercept, right, any point on the y-axis, the x is 0. So we could plug in 0 for x and solve that way. But I just like to change it to y equals format. So I need to change this. If there's ever an opportunity to distribute, that is our first step usually. So we're going to distribute first. That'll give us y minus 2 equals 3 times x is 3x. 3 times +1 is +3. So we're almost to y equals, right? But I need to get rid of this -2. Rodolfo, can you unmute and tell me what to do? You there, Rodolfo?
Yeah, I'm good, miss.
All right, what can I do? What do I do to get this -2 off of here?
You said me?
Yeah.
Off where?
Right here.
You got +2.
Thank you, Rodolfo.
Then +2 on there, and that makes it 5.
Awesome, thank you. So we got y equals 3x plus 5. So there's our slope of 3 and our y-intercept of 5. Awesome. All right, for the sake of time, we're gonna go ahead and skip this fourth equation. But according to what I told you earlier, the slope I know is a over b, right? So I know the slope is 2/3. Eduardo, please don't write on my screen. The slope is 2/3. And then since it's a minus sign, I know my slope is positive 2/3. So I know it's opposite. And then the y-intercept is C over B. So my y-intercept is negative 10/3 because the 3 is negative, or the minus sign in front of it. And then on the last equation, the slope is -5, I mean, and there's no plus B, so I know the y-intercept equals 0. Okay, so we need to be able to look at equations and be able to break them down. If you are not very confident with doing that and understanding these equations, then I suggest you start looking up some YouTube videos about all these types of equations, because I need you to get to the point where this is secondhand to you, okay? So let's go ahead and move on to our lesson. So you can title your notes Parallel and Perpendicular Lines. It sounds kind of difficult, but trust me, it's not. Parallel and perpendicular lines. Parallel and perpendicular lines. And no, we are not doing what we did last year with parallel perpendicular lines with, I don't know if y'all even remember the like corresponding angles and vertical angles and interior something angles. I don't remember them right now. We're not doing that. That's geometry. We're doing something else.
I think I remember.
All right, parallel and perpendicular lines. Here's our first fact. So the first line we want to talk about is horizontal lines. So in bold, put horizontal. We're going to learn everything about horizontal lines. So a horizontal line is this horizontal line right here, right? This orange line, straight horizontal. The way that I remember that horizontal is this way and not this way is that whenever someone tells you to look over the horizon, right? It's like a line that is this way that you're looking over, okay? So I don't know, that's the only way I can really remember horizontal. Or you can kind of remember it, I don't know. Maybe the H, in the middle of the H is the horizontal line, I don't know. But anyways, horizontal lines, these are the facts that we need to know. A horizontal line is parallel to the x-axis, right? It has the same.
She muted herself. No, she just now did that. Because it's kind of
Okay, can y'all hear me? So horizontal lines are parallel to the x-axis, so they face the same way. The slope is the same as the x-axis. It is perpendicular to the y-axis. Perpendicular to the y-axis, meaning the y-axis in this line would create a 90-degree angle. They are perpendicular to each other. Big fact that you need to know is that a horizontal line has a slope of 0. A horizontal line has a slope of 0. Second fact you need to know is that a horizontal line is a y equals equation. So let's break that down real quick. So this line right here, big fact you need to know is that the slope is 0. Second fact you need to know is that this is a y equals equation. So let's say that this point right here on this line, and you could draw this really quickly. Like this would not take you forever to draw these lines real quick on your journal so you have some example. Let's say that this point right here was -5, 4. Okay, that's the information they gave me about this line. Well, based on that information, this told me this is a y equals equation. So what is the y value in this ordered pair? What is the y value? Is it the -5 or is it the 4?
4.
A 4. So that tells me the equation to this line is y equals 4. That's it. Pay attention, because there's only 2 slides of learning here, okay? I need you to get that real quick. The y value in this ordered pair is 4. Therefore, the whole equation of this line is y equals 4. Period. That's it. Why? Because every y value on this line would be 4. It stays at the same y value the whole time. Okay, right? Let's say this point was 3, 4, right? This point right here, let's say it's 2, 4. Every y value on this line is 4. Therefore, the equation to this line is y equals 4. And that's it. The way that I tell my class to memorize this, because it's a lot of facts, right, to memorize, kind of, not really, but is the acronym HOI. HOI. If you go to any of my previous algebra students, they'd probably be like, HOI, and they would hopefully recognize that. HOI, I would write it really big in your journal, really big in your notes. HOI stands for horizontal. This is a 0 slope. And this means a y equals equation. This tells us our facts about horizontal lines. HOI. All right, I want to finish in 10 minutes, so let me know if I'm going too fast.
No, you're good.
All right, I can move on to the next slide.
Yep.
All right, next line, and that's the end of our learning today, is vertical lines. Vertical lines. A vertical line is straight up and down. That means it's parallel to the y-axis. It's parallel to the y-axis. Meaning it's perpendicular to the x-axis. It would create a 90-degree angle with the x-axis. The 2 important facts that you need to remember about this line is that a vertical line has a slope that is undefined. A slope that is undefined. And I know for the 9th graders here, I played the video with the slope dude last year. I think I did at least. And he's on skis and he falls off the cliff and he's like, undefined. So the slope of a vertical line is undefined. Second fact that you need to make sure you understand is that this is an x equals equation. X equals equation. The way that I remember that also, other than the acronyms, is this line is going through the x-axis. So that's why I know it's an x equals equation. This line, the horizontal line, was going through the y-axis. That's how I know it's a y equals equation. Okay? So let's say that this point right here was 4, -4. What is the x value at in that point?
4.
4. So I know that the equation to this line is x equals 4. Because every point on this line will have an x value of 4, no matter where you go. It will have an x value of 4, meaning that the equation to this line is x equals 4. The acronym for this is VUX. VUX. VUX means means vertical. Slope is undefined. And it's an x equals equation. So these two slides are the only new thing we're learning today. So let's do some example problems about these two facts. Big thing is I need you, if you remember this, you're good for this lesson. H is horizontal, slope of 0, y equals equation. X is vertical, undefined, slope, x equals equation. All right, let's look at an example. What is the slope and equation of a line that is parallel to the x-axis and goes through the point -2, 4? What is the slope and equation of a line that is parallel to the x-axis and goes through the point -2, 4? If this provides a graph, I would use the graph to kind of help me visualize this. I know a lot of time people don't try to visualize it. They just, oh, I think it was Hoy. I think it was Bucks. Just draw, right? So if the point is at -2, 4, we're going to put a point at -2, 4. Even if I don't have a graph, I could do this. It says it's parallel to the x-axis. So if this is the way my x-axis goes horizontally, I know that it's going to look something like this. And the reason, I'm going to tell you, these problems are some of the most missed problems because people try to do them in 5 seconds and move on and make mistakes. Don't do that. Take the time to draw it out. Oh, this is a horizontal line, so automatically I'm going to write Hoy. And awesome, some people are already writing the answers to me in the chat. Hoy, this tells me it's horizontal with a slope of 0. It's a y equals equation, so the y value in this ordered pair is 4. Therefore, it'll be y equals 4. That's the equation to this line. I don't know why I keep using 4 today. I don't know what that's about. Awesome. Okay, so take the time. If I didn't even have a graph on my paper, I would just draw an x and y axis really quickly. Draw a line that is horizontal to the x-axis. Parallel to the x-axis. And that would tell me, and then I would write Hoy out. And then from there, I would fill in my information. Take the time to do the most on these problems so you're not getting them incorrect. Do I have questions about this one?
Okay, great.
Okay, great.
Great.
All right, look at this one. Type your answer in the chat once you get it. I want you to go ahead of me. Everyone type your answer in the chat. So if we're okay, great, then we're able to answer this. What is the slope and equation of a line that is perpendicular to the x-axis and goes through the point -7, 4? So even if I don't have a graph, you can do this. So if it's perpendicular to the x-axis, I know it's vertical. It's vertical line. I'm going to go ahead and draw this at -7, 4. And make my vertical line since it's perpendicular to the x-axis.
Okay.
Since it's vertical, I'm going to write Lux. Vertical. Undefined slope. It's an x equals equation, so x equals, the x value at this point is -7, so x equals -7. There's my answer. Let me check the chat. Awesome job. Awesome. Awesome, awesome. All right. Next one. Given the line 4y equals 12, which of the statements is not true? automatically what rings alarm to me is it says 4y equals 12. I don't want 4y equals 12. I want to know what y equals. So I need to get rid of this 4 first. What would I do?
Divide by 4.
Perfect. Divide by 4. Thank you. So that will give me y equals 3. Now I'm going to look at all the facts here. Go ahead and answer what you believe is not true. Again, and I'm getting quick answers, and that's fine. But just remember, try to do the most. Oh, this is y equals. So I know this is hor. Telling me this is horizontal. Slope of 0. Y equals equation. Okay, now let me go look at my facts. If it's horizontal, let me draw a graph too to make sure. All right, so let's see. Horizontal line means it's parallel to the x-axis. That's true. Perpendicular to the y-axis. That's true. Slope of 0. That's true. Line that is undefined. Slope? No, that's not true because that would be for a vertical line. So my answer should be B. Let me check the chat. Good job, good job, good job. All righty. Questions, questions, questions. If this is confusing you, just speak up. If you're good, all right. All right, last slide. Given the line 2/3 x equals 48, which of the statements is true? Again, I don't want it to tell me 2/3 x equals 48. And even though we know this is going to be an x equals equation, what if the question asked about like a certain point, right? Or what if the question asked me, well, what is the x equals equation, right? We need to make sure we know how to break these down. So there's a couple things we can do here. I want everyone to listen to this part real quick, because everyone hates fractions and people get stuck when it comes to fractions, right? Some of you can just say, oh, we can divide by 2/3, which we can. We can divide both sides by 2/3. But dividing by 2/3 is the same thing as also multiplying by 3/2. So either one you could do. Anytime you want to get rid of a fraction, you could always multiply it by its reciprocal. Anyways, we're going to divide both sides by 2/3, which is the same thing as multiplying by 3/2. So that would give us x equals 72. Now use that to answer the question. So let's just say this is our exit ticket. So go ahead and put your answer in the chat. Private chat me, don't do where everyone can see your answer and just be like, oh yeah, that one.
How would you say it to?
This is asking which statement is true. Which statement is true? LOL. Thank you, Jada, for privately chatting me. All right, this is not parallel to the x-axis. It's perpendicular to the x-axis. So that's not true. It's not perpendicular to the y-axis. It's parallel to the y-axis. It does not have a slope of 0. The slope is undefined. So D would be my answer. Good. Hip, hip, hooray. All right, guys, if you need any more help, just let me know.
That's it.
That was for the recording.